Hi guys, this is a full review about the Hamilton Beach Juicer or Juice Extractor. So I'm not only going to show you how to make the juice, but I show you how to prepare food and then also how to clean up, which is usually not shown on TV or on these most famous YouTube videos. So this is the whole device. It's not extremely big, but it's not really small. But the good thing, I mean, the content for the rest of the fruits is really big. It's everything good size, good proportion, and it has a lot of power. So it's easy to assemble, and it's very important that I usually don't plug it in before I'm ready with everything. So to move it around, usually I have it here stored in the back. So you have to pull everything like this container for the peeled fruit, and for the motor block you have to hold it together, because when you just hold it here it will fall apart. So you have to hold both parts at the same time to grab it. So you need a little bit space, so it's better to pull it a little bit in front of the kitchen cabinet, because otherwise you have no space to open the gap here. So I'm going to show you a recipe with carrots, cabbage, and potatoes. This is perfect for all kind of stomach problems, like if you're suffering from LPR, reflux, and even if you have some joint pains from rheumaticity, yeah, then it could help really much. It helped me a lot, so I'm still using that. So yeah, and now I'm going to switch to this side to show you how to prepare the food. That's very easy, like the carrots. Oh, I need an additional thing. Just hold on. I have to grab that. I paused. Okay, so I'm back with the peeler. What I usually do is to wash it completely outside. So if there is any insecticide or other chemicals, if you start peeling, so you don't touch you don't touch the cleaned or the peeled side with the hand, which which you already use for touching the dirt outside with insecticide or whatever it could be. So usually I start with the carrots. I start on a smaller side, because when it's unpeeled, it's easier to grab it. Okay, so we wash that. Also, yeah, here. So okay, let's start on this side. It takes a little bit of time. Usually you don't see how much work this is because they want to show, when they make these nice videos about that, they want to show you how quick it works, but it's not a really quick thing. It takes some time. So I put it already into the juicer. Okay, same for this. Pick it on the smaller side. Okay, these are rather small or tiny, thin carrots. Usually I have bigger ones. I cut the end, cut it in the middle. Okay, that's it, and then I put it into the juicer. So I turn everything around so you can see that. Okay, now the carrots are in here, and so I put a glass underneath, which should be quite high. It should not be too low when you're using a glass which only reaches up to that. So you will have a lot of problems with it drops outside. You have a lot of carrot juice outside. So the best is like this, that it fits almost to the this drainage port. So now it's the time to plug it in, and then I put the top. You have to rotate it that this gap is in the back. Okay, so let's see how it works. I push a little bit down and I turn it on, and then it should start making juice. Here, and the rest is in the back. Okay, so we do this with the other things like the potatoes. It takes some time. I'm making this movie with the whole thing. I don't cut it. I don't make it short that you think that it's a really easy thing, like they show you on TV with these nice ads that you can prepare your juice in 2 minutes or so. This is not how it works. You can really forget. So sometimes I use the whole potato, but sometimes I cut it. You have to be careful not to cut yourself. But actually I found it's a little bit easier to make the juice when the pieces are smaller. So same with this. You can use potatoes when they are not perfectly fresh anymore, but it's more difficult to peel them when they are like a little bit soft, or so I prefer them when they are really fresh and hard, but at least you can use them still. When you don't like to make food out of it, you can still make juice out of it. So I cut this as well in the middle. Okay, wash my hands. So I turn it around. Okay. So the potatoes are in here. Again the top with the gap, adjust it here. Still leave the glass underneath and push a little bit down and turn this on. Maybe you noticed that when I was pushing this down, I had to release it because it was somehow a little bit stuck. So I released it and pushed down again. But it's a good thing not to push too hard, because there's the cutting thing inside, and it is very sensitive, and you have to be careful not to destroy that of course. So now you have the carrots and we have the potatoes, and now we need the cabbage. Usually I cut a little bit on the bottom side and then I take the whole leaves, but my wife has started cutting it like this, so I try to use it yeah, as it is. So probably what I will do is to cut a little bit, maybe I take a quarter of it, so that's maybe a good thing. I mean, that's a lot. Usually I think I'm using less than this, but and you have to be careful with the outside leaves. The outside leaves, they can have dirt or chemicals or insects. Not too much, but sometimes you have to be careful. And usually I dispose the outside layers, maybe 2 or 3 layers of outside leaves. I dispose them and check the next layer, and if it's okay I use them even without washing. So here we have this inside part, which is not really nice. I'm a little bit in doubt about this, but usually I cut it off, so this is a little bit special smell as well. Anyway, so this of course doesn't fit into the juicer, so we have to make smaller pieces. I cut a little bit smaller pieces, so I hope it will fit here too. So I put it on this side. Maybe you can see that, how to fill. Okay, the opening is quite big, so that's the good thing. At the beginning I was thinking this machine is a little bit big, but now I know why it's big, because it has all these big container, big opening, a lot of space for the glass. That's the good thing. Okay, now it's full. I don't push too much. I do it in 2 separate shots. So okay, let's start again. I hope you can see that. Okay, so we take the rest of it. And do it again. So okay, that's everything for now. I stop it here. Okay, now we have very nice and creamy juice. A little bit of remainders at the bottom, so you can shake or stir and then drink it right away. So that's the best thing when it's fresh. So wonderful, that's really tasty. So what I do, I have a glass of this is from the Starbucks. It has a good size because it's really wide till the top, so it doesn't use too much space in the fridge. I put the rest into this bottle because glass is better than some plastic things. So usually it works pretty well when I use this and fill this. You see this actually tiny Starbucks bottle. It has quite a lot of volume. So okay, looks great actually, and is really healthy, really great. And you have to be careful with the lid. The lid sometimes does not close properly, and when you take it out of the fridge and shake it, so you can mess the whole kitchen. So you have to check the gap here. If the sorry, you didn't see that the gaps here, you have to check the gap, and it has to be really narrow. So when it's narrow, you can easily shake when you take it out of the fridge and enjoy the rest. I keep it up to 2 days, so I don't have to do this whole thing every day. Yeah, and it changes the smell a little bit, not too much, a little bit. So it's not too bad. So I'm showing you also how to clean everything up. There's one thing I forgot, really. That's really bad. I hope you forgive me to not to do this in at first time, because yeah, probably you will show the whole video anyway before you do that. So that's the thing here. I show you how to open that. Take it apart, pull it into the sink as well here. Take this apart as well. So, and how to take this out is just to flip it, and then you can easily take it out. So that's very easy. Okay, now we have a little bit here and here. That's the worst thing I did now. I did it only because probably of the video, because I had to do everything with the camera, and so I forgot to put in a bag into this container. Usually I put this into this container, and then all this stuff, all the remainders from the fruits are really in there, and the container is totally clean. So I really forgot that. This needs a little bit of extra time, so I don't show you how to clean that, because usually you don't have to clean that. So everything you can, I hope you can see that. This is very dry stuff. This is absolutely dry. This is, you see, when I touch it and leave it down, my fingers are not wet at all. So that's crazy. So that's a total mess now in my sink. So I'm showing you how to clean this up. So what I do, I take the biggest things here. Also here on the top lid you have a lot of remainders. You can grab that, and I put this into the bag as well, because I don't want to have it all in the drainage. Of course, maybe I need, it could work, but yeah, it's not the best thing to spill everything down the drainage. So okay, it's a lot of things, and here we have some cabbage inside, which won't smell really good. So the best thing is to put it outside into your disposal and not leave it inside. So I put it just a little bit on the side. So what we use now is warm water, because of when you're using just cold water, it takes more time. And usually I don't take any dish soap, because it's gets pretty clean without, because it's just fruit, it's no animal grease. You can check that after that. So I'm using it here. So of course the knife I don't show you extra. This goes into the dishwasher as well. This yeah, here you have to the rim, to clean the rim. So both sides, also the exhaust or the drainage has to be cleaned. with warm or slightly hot water. It works really fast, and maybe every month or so you can clean it with a little bit of dish soap. Also this. Of course, this is a transparent plastic. That's the best part, or the worst part, because you can easily see when it gets dirt. The rest is black, and it's not so easy to see when there is when it's not perfectly clean. But I think it's really enough when you just use a little bit of hot water and then wipe it with fresh tissue or something like this. I usually wipe this out, so it should not be too wet, because it doesn't dry very good inside the machine, of course. Mostly I leave it like this, but I will show you how to put together, of course. I will take it apart after that and leave it to dry for a while. So, because if you don't use it and it's wet inside, it will produce mold, which is of course not healthy at all. So this part as well. And now this part you have seen, that works pretty well. You can just use your hands to rub it a little bit, and it gets really dry. Everything washes off very easy, very quick. But here comes the worst part. This is the thing which you this is the metal part, very thin things. And when you just wash, I mean, this is the cutting part. When you just use your fingers, it's very hard to clean it fully. So you have to use some kind of brush, and also you need a little bit of dish soap. So, and it needs a little bit of pressure as well. So I hold it with one hand and I make this with the other hand. And usually after I'm done with around 360 degrees, so it's usually very clean. So I try to show you. Maybe I did a little bit fast. Maybe it's not absolutely perfect, but usually it's quite good and enough to store. When you dry this, you have to be careful, because they are very sharp things here inside. Be careful not to rub with your fingers or with a towel or something. You just do it like this, and on the side it's easy, but in the middle it's very sharp. Okay, so this is perfectly clean again. So okay, almost dry, as I told you. I will let it dry later on. I put this on the side. I will dispose it later. So I show you how to put everything together again. I move the camera over here, put it a little bit higher, hope that works. Regarding the, then we have to grab this, and of course, very important, unplug it. I should have done this earlier. This happened never to me before. It's just because of the movie, because of the recording. Okay. So what we need first is, of course, this part, the drainage in the front. Then we use this cutting part, pull it a little bit down, doesn't need too much pressure. And then we have the lid, and we have to secure the lid, of course. And this, I haven't cleaned that, but usually with the bag I don't have to clean, so I show you just how it works. You can put it in. It's a little bit tricky, not too much, but a little bit, and then of course the top part. But really I have to tell you again, just do it when it's really dry, otherwise you are on risk for mold or other things. So now it's 25 minutes for everything. Of course, it's a little bit of extra time. It was a little bit of extra time because of the recording, but not too much. But you have to expect at least 20 to 25 minutes for doing your nice juice. I mean, it's really nice, but I mean, when you can buy it, but you have to buy it really fresh, not from the supermarket where it has some things to keep it for weeks or months. Then it doesn't help your stomach. You have to make or buy it really fresh. So that's very important. It takes some time, but it's really a very, very good. It's probably the best thing you can do for your health. So take your time. Yeah, I mean, it's not only work, it's a little bit of joy as well when you put it down and see the juice flowing and the fresh smell. So it's a really good thing. I really can recommend. It's the the Hamilton Beach juicer. It's only about 35 or 40 bucks, can't remember exactly. You can even buy it with some extra protection for 2 or 3 years. I recommend that because there were some complaints that it breaks easily. I don't see this problem, but I have it only for about 1 month. So yeah, just be safe and buy this extra protection, and you will be happy for several years with your shoes and everything. So yeah, thanks for watching again, and see you next time.